Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're on page 273, and our objective or our goal for today is, today I will plot rational numbers on a coordinate plane. Okay, so we're still going to be working with the coordinate plane, but today we'll be plotting rational numbers. So let's kind of remind ourselves of what rational numbers are. So let's look at our vocabulary. We're not going to worry about what ordered pairs are, but let's remind ourselves about a rational number. So a rational number is any positive or negative integer, which would be a whole number, a decimal or fraction, any number that can be made by dividing one number by another, and the term comes from the word ratio. So remember, they can be positive or negative, and they're going to be integers, decimals, or fractions. Okay, so that's going to be the difference. Is when we've been plotting so far, we've only been plotting whole numbers. Now we're going to be plotting rational numbers, which will include something other than whole numbers. Okay, so let's look at mine to start with. Here is my first problem that I'm going to be doing with you. So my first problem says, name the ordered pair for point G. Okay, so if I look at G, okay, remember an ordered pair is always going to have an X and a Y with a comma between. So if I go from G down to my X, I see it's between -3 and -4. So it's between -3 and -4, which could be -3.5 then. Okay, it also could have been, if it was going to be right between -3 and 4, it could have also been -3.5. So they didn't tell me if they want it in decimal form or in fraction. Okay, let's look at what my Y is. My Y is right there, which is just 1. So we would say G is at -3.5, 1, or -3.5, 1. Okay, then it tells me to plot the point H, which is at X is 2.5, so it's a positive. So let's find on X, 2.5 is between 2 and 3. So here's going to be my X, and my Y is -3.5. So -3.5 is between -3 and 4. So on my Y, it's going to be right between 3 and 4, and those two are going to meet right there. So this is where H would be. Okay. So that's the only difference, is now we're using fractions and decimals while we're plotting. So let's do some together. We are on page 274. So on page 274, and our first one says, name the ordered pair for Q. So I'm going to have to move mine up so we can see Q. Okay, so we need to find where Q is at. So remember, an ordered pair is always going to be an X and a Y. So here's my X, and then here's my Y. Okay, so my X looks like it's right between +4 and +5. So that could be either +4.5, or it could be either +4.5. And my Y is exactly at 4. So I would say for Q, we have two choices. We could say our X and Y could, so for our X, we could either call it 4.5 or 4.5. And then for our Y, it's just 4. No matter what, it's just a +4. Okay, our next one says, graph and label the point on the coordinate plane, -3, -1.5. So my X is -3, which is here. And our Y is -1.5. So -1.5 is going to be down, and it's going to be right between 1 and 2. So negative, that's where it would meet right here, and that is A. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you have the next couple pages to try on your own. Have a great day.